Assalamualaikum, and my name is Muhammad Ikwan bin Nur Salim. My matrix number is H21A2883. I would like to introduce for our accounting assignment. For introduction, accounting is a system for the measuring business activity, processing of information into the report and making the finding available to decision maker. For the second is the document which the communicate this finding about the performance of the organization is monetary terms. Is called by financial statement, usually accounting is understood as the language of the business. However, the business have a lot of aspect which may be a financial nature, such as a better way to understand accounting is like a language of financial decisions. The better of the understand of the language is a management of financial aspect of living. For the last, some aspect of our living are based on accounting, personal financial planning, income tax, loans, and each other.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Nur Amir bin Jamian. My metric number is H18 H18A0268. I will present about journal and usefulness of statement profit and loss. I will start from journal. Okay. On 1st October, we have cash account, capital account, and computer equipment account. So for cash account, we put on debit. Capital account, we put on credit. And computer equipment, we put on debit. So next on 2 October, we have rent account and cash account. Which rent account we put on debit and cash account we put on credit. And for 4 October, we have equipment account and creditors account. Equipment account we put on debit and creditors account we put on credit. For 8 October, we have cash account and services render account. For cash account, we put on debit, and for service rendered, we put on credit. Okay, next, 10 October. On 10 October, service rendered account and debtors account. Service rendered account we put on credit, and debtors account we put on debit. So for 12 October, we have equipment account and cash account, which is equipment account we put on debit and cash account we put on credit. On 15 October, we have cash account and salaries account. Cash account we put on credit and salaries account we put on debit. On 18 October, we have cash and debtors, which is cash we put on debit and debtors on credit. On 25 October, we have creditors account and cash account. Creditors we put on debit and cash account we put on credit. On 28 October, we have drawing account and cash. Drawing account we put on debit and cash account we put on credit. On 30 30 October. 30 October have cash account, debtors account, and service rendered. For cash account, for cash and debtors account, we put on debit, and for service rendered, we put on credit. For 31 October, we have salaries, cash, and utilities, which is electricity and water. For salaries and utilities, we put on debit account, and for cash, we put on credit. So that's all for journal.
My name is Nurin Jaslina binti Johaimi. My matric number is H21B 3020. I will present about ledger account. For the 1st October 2020, the first account is capital account. The credit side, 1st October capital 500,000 and computer equipment 100,000, and the debit side 31st October balance CD 600,000. Then for the computer equipment account, the debit side 1st October capital 100,000 and the credit side 31st October balance CD 100,000. For cash account, the debit side 1st October capital 500,000. Next, for the October 2, 2020, the first account is rent expenses account. For the debit side, 2 October cash 15,000. For the rent expenses account, the credit side 31st October balance CD 15,000. Then for the cash account, for the credit side 2 October rent 15,000. The next one is 4 October 2020. The first one is equipment account. For the debit side, for October creditors 12,000. For creditors account, the credit side for October equipment 12,000. The next date for 8 October 2020, the first one is service rendered account. For the credit side, 8 October cash 32,000. For the cash account, the debit side 8 October service rendered 32,000. The next date for 10 October 2020, the first one is debtors account. For the debit side, 10 October service rendered 27,000. For the service rendered account, the credit side 10 October debtors 27,000. The next one is 12 October 2020. The first one is equipment account. For the debit side 12 October cash 8,000 and the credit side 31st October balance CD 20,000. For the cash account, at the credit side 12 October equipment 8,000. The next date is 15 October 2020. The first one is salaries and wages account. For the debit side, 15 October cash 6,200. For the cash account, the credit side 15 October salaries and wages 6,200. For the next date is 18 October 2020. The first one is debtors account. For the credit side 18 October cash 15,000. For the cash account in the debit side 18 October debtors 15,000. The next date is 25th October 2020. The first one is creditors account. For the debit side 25th October cash 12,000. And for the cash account, the credit side 25th October creditors 12,000. The next date is 28 October 2020. The first one is drawing account. For the debit side, 28 October cash 500, and the credit side 31st October balance CD 500. For the cash account, 28 October the credit side drawing 500. The next date is 30 October 2020. The first one is debtors account. For the debit side, 30 October service 40,000, and the credit side 31st October balance CD 52,000. For service rendered account, for the credit side 30 October cash 40,000 and debtors 40,000. For the debit side 31st October balance CD 139,000. For the cash account, the debit side is 30 October service rendered 40,000. The next date is 31st October 2020. The first one is salaries and wages account. For the debit side 31st October cash 700, and the credit side 31st October balance CD 6,900. For the cash account, at the credit side 31st October salary 700, and the 31st October balance CD on the credit side 544,600. The next date is 31st October 2020. The first one is utilities expenses account for water. For the debit side 31st October creditors 3,800, and the credit side 31st October balance CD 3,800. The next one is utilities expenses account for electricity. The debit side 31st October creditor 1,800, and the credit side 31st October balance CD 1,800. For the creditors account, at the credit side, the 31st October utilities electricity 1,800, and utilities for water 3,800, and the debit side 31st October balance CD 5,600. The next one is trial balance. Trial balance as at 31st October 2020. The first one is capital. Credit side 600,000. Computer equipment debit side 100,000. Equipment debit side 20,000. Debtors debit side 52,000. Cash debit side 544,600. Creditors credit side 5,600. Drawing debit side 500. Service rendered credit side 139,000. Rent 15,000. Debit side salaries and wages debit side 6,900. Utilities expenses electricity and utilities expenses water debit side 1,800, 3,800. The both side debit and credit side is 744,600.
Statement profit and loss. Profit and loss account for the year ended 13 October 2013. Income service rendered 100,000, 9,000. Lease rental 15,000. Utilities electricity 1,800. Utilities water 38,800. Salaries and wages 6,900. Net profit 27,500, and total 111,500. Okay, I will to continue. Balance sheet statement. Balance sheet as at 13 October 2020. Fixed asset, computer equipment 100,000, equipment 20,000. Total 120,000. Current asset, debtor 52,000, cash 544,000. Total 589,000. Less current liabilities, creditor 5,600 and 519,000. Total 711,000. Finance by capital. Capital 600,000. Net profit 111,000. Total 711,000. Combined less drawing 500. Total 711,000.
Okay, I will continue. The usefulness of statement profit and loss. Okay, profit and loss statement demonstrate a company's true strength and earning power over time. It also consider revenue recognition, matching and accrual basis accounting principles, making it more important and meaningful than the cash flow statement. A profit and loss statement is really important for a company decision making. It provides a clear picture of whether the company's operation result in a profit or a loss after deducting all related expense. The statement also aids in calculating the figures needed to file statutory tax return. The net income figure from the profit and loss statement will be used to calculate how much tax the company must pay for the corresponding financial year. A profit and loss statement for a few years is a must whenever the business wants to borrow funds from a bank or a financial institution. It will assist the lender in determining the borrower's earning capacity and consistency. This will also be the deciding factor in the section amount. That's all for me. I will pass to other presenter. Thank you.
My name is Ganesh and my matrix number is H21A2810. Today I want to explain about usefulness of balance sheet statement. There are two usefulness of balance sheet statement. There is usefulness of balance sheet and limitation of balance sheet. In usefulness of balance sheet statement, balance statement, there is a liquidity and financial flexibility. Meanwhile, in limitation of balance sheet as where a value or not current value and estimate are used.
The last, in the conclusion, some of the basic account, what you have to learn the basic terminology of the bookkeeping and accounting, the general purpose and function of the account and the difference between the two sort of accounting, like a financial accounting and management accounting. Another this is also termed as accountancy. It deals with the processing of the financial information, mensuring and recording of the certain financial transaction. It also include analysis of the certain economic entities. It is a most important function of any business.